everyone and welcome to a new video on my channel. I'm Adam and today I've got Battle of the Beasts All Generation episode number 29. Today I've got two beasts fighting for spot in round 2, the 29th spot in round 2 actually. And what I can say about these two beasts is that one I really do not like and the other I'm indifferent towards. I did originally like him, but now I'm indifferent. Yeah. It doesn't really help that the one I'm indifferent to died in the first round of round 1 in its tournament. So did the other one, actually. But I don't care about the other one that died in round 1. So, anyway, let's introduce them. So, representing Series 23, the Shattered Kingdom. The first beast to be fighting in from that series as well. It's book number 1, Querzol, the Swamp Monster. Yeah, this is the one that I do not like. And representing the rather large group of specials, a beast that died in round 1 of the Specials Generation tournament, lost to Spyros actually, and I remember that because Arax the Soul Stealer, because of course I remembered laughing that Special number 2 was going to be fighting Special number 3 in the Special Generation tournament, and of course Spyros is going to win. But yeah, these are the opponents for today. 2 green-covered books. Wow. So I know the cover of the books don't really matter, but some people they do. Trust me, they do. I wish I could say they're not, but they really do. But yeah, here we are. Querzol versus Arax. Battlefield. I'm thinking of a swampy arena because Querzol. But yeah. That's what it will be, a swampy arena just for Querzol, because you're very special, aren't you? So with that, stats please! Okay, welcome back, and now we're going to go through each beast's weaknesses. We're going to start things off with Querzol. Querzol's weakness is his exposed heart. Querzol's amber heart is not inside his body, instead it's placed within his roots, meaning it'll be just underneath him, or in his round 1 battle's case, at the bottom of the swamp. Meaning, if someone can get close to it, they could pierce it, killing him. So yeah. And Arax's weaknesses, well, brace yourself, he's actually got a fair few. His first one is his weakness to his own whip. If he's hit by it, Arax is straight up defeated, he's dead. And he'll turn to dust. His soul returning, if he's defeated, all the souls he has stolen will return to their owners. Healed wounds, if the wound that steals the victim's soul is healed quick enough, their soul will not be stolen. So he can heal someone, but if their wound gets healed up, then he can't steal their soul. If there's a cut in his wing, he will struggle to fly. He'll be a bit slower. And horn removal, his horns can be cut off. Whilst there is one way in which he can be defeated, according to this, and one of his weaknesses will be caused after his defeat. So that's technically 4 weaknesses. But yeah, that's still a fair amount compared to Querzol. So yeah, Querzol is something to go for. Will it work? I don't know. Let's get to the battle. So, as both beasts exit from their chambers, Querzol makes his way very lackadaisically towards the centre of the arena, taking extra care of his amber heart, doesn't want to repeat of last time. Arax bursts through the sky door, instantly sees the tree, and whips his whip towards Querzol, wraps it around Querzol, and pulls it towards him. And just makes Querzol fall on his face. But using his branches, he reaches out towards Arax, slashing and grabbing at him. Arax is able to fly out of the way, using his whip and claws and wings and horns to just stab, slash and break all the roots to just protect himself. Whilst he's being distracted by that though, Querzol has shot a giant bubble of acid towards Arax. Before it gets anywhere close to Arax attacks it with his whip and pops it. Some of the acid spews over Querzol, some of the acid spews over Arax. They both start burning up in pain. However, Arax is not relenting. He dives down towards Querzol and just dodging all the branches coming out towards him and just tackles him into the water, causing a major splash. Arax is using his wing, like the hooked tip of his wings, to just start scratching at the bark. He's scratching, whipping at Querzol. Querzol is just trying to attack him. It seems to be a very close-up scuffle. Arax then uses Querzol's own body to just get on his feet and jump away from Querzol. And he spots something underneath Querzol. So what he does is he uses his whip to reach for it. However, Querzol saw that coming and uses his branches to deflect it. And instead wrap his branches around the whip, and they play a little game of tug of war. Querzol is using all of his strength to pull Arax towards him. Arax using all his strength to just pull the whip away from Querzol. I need to have a drink after this. It seems to be a very back and forth battle here, and what Querzol does to throw Arax off, he just lets go of the whip entirely, causing Arax to fly backwards a little bit, and he's greeted by a few acid bubbles coming towards him, and a bunch of branches coming out to attack him. Arax puts his whip away and starts punching it all off whilst dodging the acid bubbles. And then dives down towards Querzol and using his wings just knocks him aside whilst going down towards his roots to get to that heart. Querzol is not having any of that though, using his branches just wrap around Arax, tightening his grip to where his arms and wings are stuck together. He doesn't know what he can do, so what he does is he tries to struggle to get free. Querzol laughs in hysterics and decides that the best thing to do is to drown Arax. So what he does is he just dunks him into the swamp water and starts drowning him. Arax starts struggling and using some echolocation he has for his ability here. He calls on the communication of bats to come from around the area. Querzol, in utter confusion, reaches out more branches and starts attacking at the bats to try and swat them away. Shoots up a giant acid bubble above him to scare them off or dissolve them. The bubble pops above Querzol, and Querzol realizes what he just did. So what he does is he takes Arax and chucks him up into the air to be greeted by the giant acid bubble droplets before it rains down on Querzol. Arax's bats just fly off. Querzol gets burnt very badly by the acid, where there's starting to be tears in his wings. But he's now free from Querzol's grip. However, he suffered some major damage from that. He's just barely able to stand on. Querzol, not relenting though, goes for another attack, and Arax dives down below the water, and using all his strength, he reaches for that amber heart of Querzol's, just pushing past every piece of root and branch there is, and eventually he gets it, and he just drags it out of that forest of roots. Querzol screeches in pain and dives down below as an entire tree for Arax. Arax sees the giant form of Querzol coming down towards him, and using all his strength, he tries to crush it as much as he can, but Querzol is just wraps one of his roots around his throat and starts constricting Arax's life away, whilst Arax is trying to take Querzol's. It gets to the point where nothing happens, where no bubbles are being released. The audience members are standing up trying to see what's going on underneath the water, but they can't see anything. But then they see the bark of Querzol just start floating up, the whole body of him. But nothing else. They then get greeted by a bunch of bubbles coming from nearby, and Arax comes out and climbs on top of Querzol's body, holding up broken fragments of his heart. Up above him, exhausted and winded, he shows them to the audience members and scatters them into the swamp water. He makes his way very weakly back to his chamber, lets out one last huzzah, and goes back in. Arax has won. Querzol has lost. If you think Querzol should have won, please leave in the comments below why you think that. However, my word is final, and Arax is moving on to the next round. Now, if you're wondering why I gave Arax the victory here, it's because, well, the ability that Querzol has about shooting the acid bubble up in the air was probably the decider of how he would win. Because the stats don't say that he's immune to his own acid, it could be implied that he could be killed by his own acid. However, I didn't want to have him die by his own weapon. Because I'd already done that a few times. So what I decided to do is that, because one of Arax's ability is bat communication, I was like, yeah, we could call on the power of the bats. So that's what Arax did. Now, whilst this may be a bit of a controversial victory, because I didn't let Amixis use her young, but I let Arax use his bats, I don't really have a good reason for that. But what I can say to try and defend myself, but I know some people are not going to accept it anyway, is that Amixis cares for her young and doesn't want to see them get hurt, and that was proven in Kajin the Beast Catcher. Whereas with Arax, he doesn't really care about his bats, and he shouldn't really, because to him they're just bats, they're just his servants. And the reason why Querzol even lets go of Arax whilst he's drowning him, basically, if you're being attacked by something whilst you're busy taking care of something else, you'll drop that something else just to take care of that. And because Querzol's personality is angry, he doesn't really think about what he's doing whilst he's being attacked. So he just lets go of Arax, just forgetting about him almost completely. He lets go of Arax to defend himself from the acid bubble, which was a good idea, but that came with the consequence of releasing him. Whilst Arax did almost immediately go back down to attack Querzol, that's after Querzol realised what he did, and it's just like, okay, now he's got a problem to deal with, and that's what Arax took to his advantage, and that's why I gave Arax a victory. Like I said, it's going to be a controversial victory. But so's the next battle. And I know that just by looking at the beasts. So with that, yeah. So this is the era of the All Generation Tournament where we're going to have some controversial victories. But here we are. Arax, battle number 29's winner. Till then, that's all for this time. If you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe. Press the notification bell down in the corner below. And I'll see you next time.